Fires are raging across Southern California with several still uncontained. In Riverside County, the Wolf Fire has burned over 1,100 acres. The Mandalay Fire, also in Riverside, has scorched 83 acres. Meantime, in San Bernardino County, the Lake Fire has burned 485 acres, while the Smiley Fire is nearly out with 99% containment. Good evening to you. I'm Susan Hirasuna. We have a lot of ground to cover. Fox 11 on your side with team coverage. Meteorologist Star Harvey standing by with a look at the dry conditions. But first, we begin with reporter Matthew Seedorf, live in Riverside County near the Wolf Fire, which is the largest in the state right now. Matthew.
Yeah, we're at the edge of the Wolf Fire tonight. Firefighters say that conditions are improving, the winds are calming down, but if you get close to the fire like we are, the conditions a little worse. The fire creates its own weather of sorts, so it's a little breezier as firefighters here prepare for a long night. An intense firefight underway in Riverside County. The Wolf Fire exploding Sunday evening, quickly growing to almost 1,200 acres.
We had the wind pushing to the east, just kind of coming up and over this mountain. We're just keeping the ember cast down here from lighting all this on fire, trying to hold it on this side.
Crews battling dry, windy conditions on the ground while also making drops from the sky. An evacuation order issued in Twin Pines, nearby South Banning, in a warning zone. Firefighters right now trying to prevent these flames from jumping the 243. All this dry fuel would light like a match. The Mandalay Fire in Riverside quickly scorching more than 80 acres. Residents rushing, trying to keep their homes safe.
Right now, what we're doing is we're just going around the neighborhood and making sure that we can help our neighbors and wet the roofs, whatever we can, escort all the elderlies out of here with this evacuation.
Busy weekend for firefighters across the Southland. Hot, dry conditions expected all week long.
The dry brush is lighting off pretty quick, and the wind's just pushing up and over the mountain.
So firefighters tonight watching all of these embers right here on the 243 as those embers can travel for miles and possibly ignite further downwind. The wind tonight blowing to the northeast. I know it's dark out there, but that's looking towards the town of Banning and the Interstate 10 over that direction as firefighters also still attacking this from the sky tonight. Reporting live, Matthew Seedorf, Fox 11 News.
All right, Matthew, so that's some good news that they're still able to do the air attack. What about the behavior of this fire? Is there anything surprising? Did any of those firefighters talk to you about how surprised they were that this grew so quickly or anything like that?
Yeah, they say it's just that time of year. Conditions are so dry, all that brush, it can ignite so quickly. I mean, you can hear it just taking off, the sizzling. It loves this sort of weather and the dry conditions with the wind. It creates a dangerous situation. This is what they're used to seeing in fire season, and unfortunately, it's what's happening right now.
Matthew Seedorf, thank you so much for your coverage. All right, we're going to turn now to Star Harvey with the latest on these dry conditions. Obviously, there's a lot of fuel to burn. Star?
Yeah, that's absolutely right. You know, we've been tracking the weather across not just the Riverside area, but also San Bernardino County. Now, conditions have been favorable, meaning we have had temperatures that are on the hotter side in the 90s for this Sunday. We have our humidity values that are on the lower end, and then our winds. They did start off a little bit breezier in our early afternoon, early evening. And again, as we do push towards, I'd say, the 11 o'clock hour, 12 a.m. hour, our winds will continue to just drop down along the way. As you can see right here, I have us at the 10 p.m. hour. We went from temps in the 90s backing down into the 70s. By that midnight hour, we'll be in the low 70s, and then our lows across the area dropping down into the 60s. Getting that start off tomorrow with temperatures back in the 70s around that 8 o'clock hour. But again, across the Riverside, again, a lot of the Inland Empire region as we do move into Monday. Tomorrow, we are expecting that temperatures will once again be in the 90s for some of the area. I also want to put our focus towards these wind directions here. We do have some winds pushing out of the west right now. They are fairly calm, so that is some better news from where we think about where we were a little bit earlier when these fires were pretty much getting their ignition. And as we do move into our overnight early morning hours, we are expecting that winds will continue to be on the warmer or the calmer side. A really quick check-in on our air quality. They have improved, especially across the Inland Empire. Earlier this evening, we did have some unhealthy for sensitive groups. We'll continue to keep our eyes on this, but also our fire conditions as they do relate to our weather. For now, Susan, back to you.
All right, let's take a closer look at some of the other fires burning right now. Crews stopping forward progress on the lake fire in San Bernardino County. It sparked yesterday afternoon near Silverwood Lake. The Mindy fire in Riverside County sparked around the same time as the Wolf fire. It's burned 100 acres and is now 50% contained. Also in Riverside County, the Mandalay fire is a little less than 100 acres. It's 0% contained, and at one point it threatened homes near Tyler Street and Mandalay Court.
I was taking a nap. My neighbor called me because I heard fire trucks, and she said, "Is there a fire?" I said, "Yeah, I think there is, but I don't know where it's at." I look out my window, and it's right across the street. So we come outside, and we were just hanging out, videotaping it, of course, like everybody else, and taking pictures and stuff, and then all of a sudden, it just got worse.
Well, the good news is forward progress has stopped at this time, but firefighters say smoke and hot spots persist. Tyler Street between Arlington and Harupa Avenue was blocked. Only emergency vehicles were able to pass. No word yet on when evacuation orders will be lifted. Crews focus on the hot spots near homes and brush areas. Firefighters used air tankers, hand crews, and helicopters. Evacuees are being sheltered and fed at the La Sierra Center. Now in San Bernardino County, the newest fire burning there, the Cable Fire. It's 13 acres with no containment. You can see CAL FIRE dropping water over it. This is in the Cable Canyon area. Crews are gaining ground on the Smiley Fire, also in San Bernardino County. The fire has burned a little over 80 acres and is 99% contained.